Hello everyone again, and today we will be starting with that how to find a mentor in general, irrespective of what career path you are in, at what stage of life uh, you are in. So what I have done is that actually, there are a couple of articles which I referred. One is from Forbes and one is from HBR, and I've provided the links at the end. But I've used those as a base to kind of tell the journey of how you can get started with finding a mentor. And I'll be sharing few tips and tricks also from my own personal experience. uh, let's see, let's get started. First one is that ask for that first meeting, right? And obviously reaching out to someone might be a bit intimidating, right? If you are actually let's say, if the person that you're reaching out, you don't know the person, and if the person is really senior to you, you might uh, be the person will not respond, or person will not be uh, mm, you kind of fear of rejection, what we call, right? So but that should not be the case. It sometimes works quite well. It will work better if you're able to bump into that person in a networking event, like with COVID past us, and with industry events and networking events starting again. Try and see if you can attend few of the networking events. And like, for example, AWS summits are the free events, right? You can always go there. AWS user groups, free events, you can always go there. Or any other field, if you are there, will be in networking events. So try and see if you can reach there. But if you're not able to, and if you have a specific person in mind whom you would like to be your mentor, start with an email like this. I really love this example from this was from the HBR article. And when you send that email, try and make that connection in a way that you have been following that person for some time, you know about that person. Just do not start with hey, be my mentor or something like that, right? Tell about uh, what you admire in them, right? And just ask for a quick if you're in the same city, a quick meetup, or if it is like a different quick video chat or something, and see if you can get a good response, right? And see, these mentors might be having multiple people reaching out to them, so it might not be possible for them to respond to everyone. Even in that scenario, try and be in keep following them, see some other opportunity in which you can try and approach them. All right. I like this part. The worst thing that you can do is actually uh, ask them directly that, please be my mentor. And I love this example of mentoring. Finding a mentor is like dating. In your first meet, if you're going to say that, hey, let's get married, and probably you'll scare off the other person, right? So it's a similar thing. And I love this from this is from the Forbes article, if I'm not wrong. But the way they structured it, right? I love it. You need to take time to nurture the relationship. You need to take time to understand both. So there have been scenarios, and give you my personal example. There was a leader in in the same company, and I always used to admire that person a lot. And I always thought, oh, if that person can become my mentor, it will be great. And I somehow tried to reach that person, and there was a moment then when I was able to get one-on-one meeting with that person. But during that meeting, I understood that probably the person might not be the right fit for me, or I might not be the right fit for that whole mentor-mentee relationship, right? So it can work both ways. So try and nurture that relationship. Try and understand whether a person would be right fit for you also, and vice versa, right? And you'll have to invest that time to understand that person and ensure that the other person also understands you before rushing into, hey, I got a mentor, let's start working. So moving forward, yeah, nurture the relationship. When if you're able to get that one-on-one meeting with the person, in that meeting, try and discuss things outside of work too. Try and understand that person. Try about what books they read or what hobbies do they have, and have a more natural conversations than just a professional work related conversation. So Mentors are also almost your friends, or a long term standing, like a person who can guide you, so know them more personally than possible. uh, and that does not mean that you do not talk about the professional things at all, but somewhere during the meeting you always can talk about the career questions, not exactly like, I have this specific problem, can you help me mentor to get this past, or you'll get to that stage eventually, but start with your career questions that uh, uh, that can help you grow overall, and if you can try and do that by seeing their journey, and there are ways to find your uh, mentor or potential mentors journey, right, through social media profiles or through blogs that they would have written or anything like that. So try and see where you can ask them relevant questions that can help you just by understanding their experiences, rather than just making it on your own that I'm here, I need to reach X, give me a guidance. Rather than, I see that you have moved in your career from here to here, how did you do that? Something like that, it might uh, help. And even like, yes, what kind of uh, yeah, events they attend, or what kind of like extra things that they do apart from work that helps them grow professionally, you can get some those tips and tricks from them. And after that meeting, ensure that send a thank you note, irrespective of like how you feel that the meeting would have gone. Send a thank you note, appreciate the time that they have invested uh, you know in getting to know you or meeting you, right? So send a like a thank you note, and also see if that you can like get a like a next steps kind of things, right, from that meeting. It's all about a long-term relationship with the mentor mentee. And it's always, it's not just about the work, it's about the overall, like knowing the person even personally, understanding their likes, dislikes, so on and so forth, right? Example of how you should be following up. Again, I'll share the resource, like the link through which you can read the entire article from which I have taken these screenshots. But yeah, something like, if there was an action item, if there was suggestion, then, were you able to get to that suggestion? You know, and though I understand we are in a situation that we feel that, oh, I desperately need a mentor, but like calm your nerves. That's what I say. Never like sh- show that desperation, or no need to even show that desperation. Like just let it grow organically. That's the best mentor-mentee relationship that happens. They grow organically, and organically it takes time. It's not going to happen that your first meeting happened on, let's say, Monday, and by Thursday they are your mentors. It might take some time, uh, probably weeks or even months, for that to happen, right? And you need to ensure that how during that time you are engaging them, and not kind of spamming them, but engaging them, right? After 3 to 4 meetings, and that's what I say, it's a sweet spot, where, like if the first meeting things go really well, awesome. But generally, if it is like 3 to 4 meetings, is that when you feel that you know the person well, and the other person might be still, like also knowing you, you know about the common interest, probably common movies that you like, or common, like books that you have read together, or anything like that. Then in that case, probably, um, you will also be able to judge whether that particular person is the right person or not for you uh, to become a mentor. They might be great at what they are, but it might be that the chemistry might not be working between you and your mentor. Even in that case, keep, like engage them. But in case if you feels like it works for you, and you are getting good vibes from the potential mentor too, then yeah, you can, casually ask them, or like find a ways to say that, hey, seems like you're already mentoring me, or something like that. And then probably wait for the response. Now, because the person now knows you, and they might be more willing to continue that relationship, then you'll obviously receive a positive response. In that case, great. If not, then it is fine. As I said, those mentors might be mentoring multiple uh, people, right? And in that scenarios, it's completely fine. See, I'll give you an example. I am currently trying to get a mentor who is a renowned speaker and a published author. I somehow was able to bump into that person at one of uh, the event. In fact, at a social event after the event, at the evening networking reception, that's where I was able to bump into that person, and we had some good chat. And then I have asked for a follow-up meeting after probably a couple of weeks. After that, I asked for a follow-up meeting through an email. uh, and yeah, that a person responded positively, and I'm going to have that follow up. No, I already had a one meeting with them, and then one-on-one meeting. I asked for another follow up meeting, and the person is luckily traveling to London around August end. And because we had now a one networking event, one-on-one meeting, the person has actually said that okay, let's try and see if we can catch up when the person is in London. So I'll probably make some time and have some time, and that's when probably I'll be obviously I've discussed few career aspirations with the person, but at a very light touch. But it kind of both ways right now, but we'll see how that goes. All right. uh, and okay, when in another conversation, when I asked with another potential mentor that was you know some time back, probably around 3 to 4 years back. And this is one thing, your mentors keep changing in your career. It's there are mentors with whom you will be working lifelong probably, but there are mentors who will keep changing. So there was a mentor with whom who was helping me. But when the first I approached that mentor, the mentor was like, I have bandwidth to mentor only two people at the time, and I already have two people, which was completely fine, right? But I kept engaging uh, with the potential mentor or person, in one form or the other, not obviously spamming, but once in a while say hi, how are you, or hey, I was able to do this, and stuff, or I like your post or something like that, right? And when the person was able to make time for another mentor, that's when we started connecting more, right? So it's not a now or never situation. It's a journey that is going to happen over the time. So irrespective of which way it is going, keep that connection alive. Do not cut ties with the person. Yeah, okay, the person does not have time, there's no point, that's not going to help in any way. Okay. And then in case if that relationship happens, and if the you are in that mentor relationship, then after nurturing the relationship, you need to ensure that you maintain that relationship. Keep them updated of any uh, positives or negatives that are happening in your professional career. It's going to help them, yeah, I myself being a mentor, I get great joy when I see my mentees achieving anything uh, good in their career. So that even keeps the mentors motivated and going. So make that time to keep them updated, right? And obviously yeah, never never spam them. It's not that you're going to ping them every day. No, it's find the right balance cadence with which you should be interacting with your uh, mentor. But yeah, always offer to help. It's not just that you only need help. Even the mentors might be needing help. And this is where I'll give an example with the conversation that I was having other day with Jamila. So Jamila has um, a mentor, and it's not me, it's another mentor within AWS. And I know Jamila has great relationship with that person, and Jamila was telling how she is helping uh, her mentor in one way or the other, like there was some project that was starting, and like Jamila jumped into it. Yes, I would like to help. you know so have those things where your mentor might be working on something and might need extra hands, and it's a perfect opportunity for you to build that closer relationship with your mentor by helping the person. So find those opportunities and always offer to help. And finally, express gratitude. Yeah, that's always important. Express gratitude irrespective of whether mentor or not mentee. There might be some persons whom like you might have got inspired from. Like there are few people on the LinkedIn whom I follow regularly, and yeah, they don't know me personally, or I don't know them personally. But there were times when I've just messaged them, expressing their gratitude that, hey, this post of yours has helped me change my perspective, or I was thinking in this particular manner, but this it was really a eye opener. Or like in case if it's a more of a closer relationship with your mentor, then thank them for the time that they are spending with you. All that is good, and this that everything that I've said till now is generic irrespective of in which path of your year. But frankly, that's pretty much that I have. Hopefully this was helpful